Hey everybody, Britt here, Clear Wealth Asset Management, Del Mar, California. Another gorgeous day here on the Pacific Ocean. As I'm sitting here on my deck looking at the breakers over at Torrey Pines Beach, it just got me thinking about some of the misconceptions that are out there about retirement, and especially some of the fears that people have when they come into my office and they're looking to do a financial plan for retirement. Some of the fears that they have are, I think, common among a lot of different people, but I think also there's some landmines that people don't realize exist in their retirement plan that can really just throw everything off track. So when I meet people who are looking to build a retirement plan, one of the things that they think are a big risk for them in retirement is the stock market crashing, hurting their portfolio, and then they're not going to have enough money to be able to live on. The second one that I hear a lot of is basically unexpected healthcare costs. And while both of those are definitely risks that we need to plan for, and there are ways for us to protect against both of those issues, I will tell you the one that kind of is lurking under the surface, it's why I call it a retirement landmine, is really the one that most people never think about, that can completely decimate their plan. And that is the future of tax rates in the United States. So, I mean, tax rates are always changing, right? They're always going up, they're going down, depending on the administration, depending on what time in history we're in. But I can tell you a couple things that people don't realize. Number one, we're in one of the lowest tax bracket systems we've been in over 80 years in the United States, meaning today, tax rates are actually much lower than they've been on average over the history of taxes in the United States. Number two, we are financially as a country under more pressure and stress than we've ever been in the history of this nation. So forget the $21 trillion worth of debt that we've borrowed in order to be able to pay our expenses, but also we have 78 million baby boomers, and about 10,000 of them are retiring every single day. Meaning, doesn't mean they're not working, it just means they're hitting 65 years old. And when they hit 65, they qualify for Medicare, and a lot of those people do actually stop working. So instead of having people paying into the system, we have people leaving it. And without getting too deep into that, I will tell you that as a retiree, I believe your number one risk for really throwing your plan off track is tax rates are much higher in retirement than what you expected and planned on them being when you built your plan. So why are tax rates so much of a bigger risk for retirees versus working people? And the answer is simple. When you retire, you lose the greatest write-offs. Those tax deductions, you lose your greatest write-offs when you get to retirement. Write-off number one that you lose typically is your mortgage interest deduction. Now, it doesn't mean you can't have a mortgage in retirement. Most people plan on not having a mortgage in retirement, either paying off the one that they have or downsizing, taking the equity from their home and buying something a little smaller that doesn't have any mortgage. So you lose that. Number two, you lose your contributions into your retirement plans. So when you think about you're working, you're contributing into a 401k, you might be doing an IRA, all of those things reduce in that year the amount of taxes or the amount of income you would have shown, which in effect reduces your taxes. That's gone. You can't contribute to retirement plans if you don't have earned income. Number three, the kid deduction. So when you have children, you actually get a double deduction for each child. It becomes pretty substantial if you have a family. Well, even if you have adult children living in your home when you are retired, you cannot write them off. And the last thing you lose is the charitable deduction. Now again, if you make a charitable donation during retirement, can you write it off just like everyone else? Absolutely. But what we find is charitable people are always charitable people, but when they retire, because they're worried about money, they typically donate time rather than money. When you donate time, the government does not give you a write-off. So you're losing all these deductions, and you're on a fixed income, so you can't go to your boss and ask for a raise, or if you owned a business, you can't raise the price of your goods and services. Bottom line, taxes are a huge risk for retirees. So when you build your retirement plan, it's really important that you build it in a way that you're not going to be subject to taxation when you're taking retirement in income. Until next time, enjoy the day.